What's up, besties? Good morning. Oh, man, it's been a day. I literally had to go make myself a cup of coffee because, wow. Mm, it has been a day, and it's not even 12 o'clock yet. I just now finished showering, getting myself ready, only for me to get out the house again. I did a 10, almost 11-kilometer walk this morning, and I had so much fun because I haven't walked in a minute. I just haven't felt like it. And just started getting back up again, back to it. And it's been so much fun. It is taking up quite a bit of time out of my day. I'm not going to lie, because my mornings start so late now. And unfortunately, hi, Palestine. Nice to have you here. And unfortunately for me, I still have work to do, kids to pick up from school. It's a mess. Like right now, I'm doing a checkout 60 order because the kids must come back from school and they must eat. Bonolo has actually announced that today is movie day. I swear, because it's his birthday month, it's her birthday month, she is holding us on a chokehold, okay? She's not messing around. Missing your cleaning videos. I know, I miss those too. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't cleaned in a while. Dizzy has been helping me a lot with the cleaning. I've just been touching up here and there, but on Sunday, it's on. Like I actually have told my brain, like on Sunday, we are spring cleaning, like moving stuff and just rearranging furniture. We are cleaning on Sunday. I just need to quickly get this order in because otherwise they're going to deliver when I'm not here. And when they do, then they have to leave it by the door. And now we have neighbors. It's a bit weird. Katlego says, hey, bestie, good morning. Morning. Hi, guys. Thank you for tuning in. What am I looking for? Snacks, because now it's movie night. And the thing is, I think I've set the bar so high for my kids, right? I did that to myself, that they, in a way, expected, like Nono, in her brain, like when she talks about this amazing movie night that's happening tonight, there's a snack platter and I made like mini sausages and this drinks and stuff, which is something that I usually do. If we have movie night, I'll make little snacks and stuff. But honestly, I would have just been happy with making popcorn and calling it a day. But no. Homegirl's just like, no. The whole 9 yards. We're going to bring mattresses, their bad mattresses from their bedroom onto the living room and do the whole setup. So now I have to actually get snacks for the snack platter. I love it for them. I really love it for them, even though sometimes it feels like I just shot myself on the foot, Like they say, parenting is literally hitting your head against the wall multiple times because you just have to keep going. Bailey says, hi, bestie. I wrote a test. This is going to make me feel better. Oh, how did it go? How was the test? What were you writing a test for? I need motivation because I'm trying to get back to studying. Hi, Kaino. I want to come back to Namibia. I do. I really do. At this point, I really think I should just pack up my life and move to Namibia because Namibia lives in my head way more than South Africa does, if I'm being honest. Anyway, I'm getting Doritos. I need to get, what's the number one thing for snacking on when watching a movie? Maybe Smarties? I don't like Smarties. But to sprinkle on the popcorn, yeah? M&Ms would be nice, but M&Ms are so expensive. My goodness. Live with Miss Chop says, hey, bestie, good to catch up with you all the way from Zim. Oh, my God. Currently doing a client sale while watching this Girl, that's so nice. Hi. You know what? I also remember, let me actually open my computer here. I'm doing this on a desktop, so it's going to be impossible for me to move around, even though I can feel myself already itching to move around, but I'm not gonna because I can't. But I want to do this because I need to do a shout out. I do. Let me find it. Mm. Value, you went back to school. Full-time student. Man, I take my hat off to you. Full-time. Wow. It's hectic being a mom, wife, employee, and student, but we soldier on. I don't know how you do it. Teach me your ways. Please teach me your ways because, wow, that's commendable. Well done. Really well done. Lewahang says, I cut my hair last weekend. You influenced me after putting it off for so long. Okay, it's official. Where's my trophy? Because now I'm an influencer. I want to thank my fans. That's amazing. And isn't it freeing though? Like just not having hair. There's just something about like even when you shower different. You're not stressed. When you go to bed, you're like, do I want to wrap my hair? Do I not? Did I wrap it tomorrow? Whatever. I love it. I love the freedom that comes with that. Love it. Okay. Zimkita asked me to shout out her kiddos because they watch our channel, and I'm excited to do the shout out, but also worried that I might butcher their names. Oh my god, I feel so bad already. But if I do butcher their names, I'm sorry. I'm gonna read it the way I see it. So her kids are Lunchuma. Yes. I'm also gonna try. Can I edit this after? I don't know. Anyway, it's Lunchuma and Ainashe. I hope I'm saying that right. And if I'm not, I'm so sorry, kiddos. I only meant with good intentions. And we love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I really hope I said that right. I know they're going to watch this. I know I get so disappointed when somebody pronounces my name wrong and I always correct them. I'm that person. I'm so, yeah, my friends say I'm extra. Like I always correct people when they say my name wrong because I'm Olerato. Majority of the people are called Lerato. And because in isiZulu, when you say Olerato, it's just assumed that it's like a prefix. I don't know if that makes sense. And so I have to say no. It's with the O, Olerato with the O. So it would be like, ooh, Olerato. I know. So I feel really bad if I pronounce your names wrong. I'm sorry. I did not mean to. I'm just not sure how to pronounce it. I don't know if it's Xhosa or I don't think it's Zulu. I don't know. I'm sorry. But hi, guys. Short hair is so sexy. Please say it a little louder for the people in the back. Because what do you even mean? I love it. Okay, so I do need to finish this Checker 60 order. Oh my god. The kids come off school at 1:30. Honestly, I feel like Friday is such a wasted day. You drop them off at school, I go for my walk, I come back, I shower, I drink coffee or tea, and then I have to fetch the kids. That's Fridays. Okay. I think that about does it. Continue. Do you guys use Checker 60? I love Checker 60. Love it. But I do feel like since the Checker 60 thing came in, Checker's prices have gone up because their demand has obviously went up because now you can get stuff from Checkers without even leaving your home. and they had to obviously now, cut down on demand. Um, but it's a great invention. The side effect has just been increased prices. It's so annoying. And sometimes you find that you pay more on the app than you do in store. But I don't have the time to go to the store. And because we live in a penthouse by choice, bringing the groceries upstairs, I'm not the one. Mm-mm. I am not the one, which is bad. And I always, like, every time the checkers guy comes here, I always thank them. Even if the kids like receive the order, they always say thank you. We appreciate it. I need to actually leave them a little snack box every once in a while because, man, they are doing us great service. But if the prices could just stay solid for a while, that would be great. And I'm not even lying. If you guys don't believe me, what you should do is run an experiment. Go back to your Checker 60s orders, like the previous months. Look how much it cost you then, and then reorder the exact same cart. Don't go to don't add anything, don't take out anything. The exact same cart. It'll be more. It's wild. It'll cost you more to get the exact same things you did a few months ago now. Where all this is going, I don't know, guys. I don't know. We were talking with my friend Genevieve this morning on a walk that, back in the 90s, well, she obviously grew up, she was born like 4 years before I was. And so in her time, she tells me they used to buy steak for like freaking 12 rand. Anywho, I did say that I was going to do a Q&A, so let's get to it. Because as soon as this checkers guy gets here, then I kind of do have to stop because I have to go now get the order, and I'm doing this on this thing that I can't move. Anyway, Wendy says, how was the transition from corporate to stay-at-home/influencer mom? A little update, please. Well, to be honest, it wasn't really much of a transition because I did it at a time where I was already working from home. So it still felt very much like I'm at home. Nothing is different. It's just that I don't have to hop on the 8 o'clock meeting every day. Well, every weekday. I don't know if that makes sense. And I never really looked myself as, or considered myself as a influencer. I create content, and there is a huge difference between a content creator and an influencer. I am not sitting trying to influence people to buy stuff or to sell things to people. I honestly just genuinely create content, things that resonate with me, things that we use, things that I find helpful. My life, well, 10% of my life, I create content with that. And so a lot of the people that follow me have always resonated with that. And as a result, they will go and buy whatever I'm using or whatever I'm talking about or whatever I'm recommending. And I find lines have always been blurred between content creator and influencer. So yeah, I wouldn't say I'm an influencer or a stay-at-home mom. I wish I was. Man, ooh, goals. So yeah, I wouldn't say there was much of a transition because I was working from home already. The only biggest difference is that I don't have to hop onto the 8 o'clock Teams meeting. I still have meetings because, like I said, I am a content creator. I'm not just creating content for myself. Obviously, I also do wedding photography and just photography in general. So I meet up with people, clients and stuff. So I do have meetings. It's just not at 8 in the morning. Thank the Pope, because that meeting gave me so much anxiety. I can't even begin to tell you guys how stressed out I was every day for that 8 o'clock meeting. I would magic up stuff all the time because, whew. Goodness, I see you soon. Also, weather has been perfect for the past 3 months. Oh no, really? Oh. Somebody said to me, because when we went to Namibia, it was March. Yeah, makes sense. We went in March and it was piping hot. Look, I'm not complaining. I love me hot weather. But because we're in the desert part of Namibia, it was insanely hot. And the sweet lady there who is, handling the owner of that little campsite was like, no, the perfect time to visit is during winter. But now the problem with that is all the international people also visit. So then it gets crowded. And I was like, you see, we picked this spot because it wouldn't be crowded. But now when you say Jan and Fab, I love that. I'm going to note that because that's when everybody else goes back to work and it's not going to be as crowded as it would be in winter. And winter is obviously ideal because then it's not that hot, but I don't mind the hot weather. I'll raise up my hand anytime for hot weather. In fact, I'm a little bit stressed because 5 o'clock is so dark. Like in the morning, it's cold. I find myself dressing up like it's a winter storm outside just to take the kids to school. And I feel like we got here so soon, so quick. Oh. I can't. Wait, my friend is messaging me with something that does not make sense. Monday. Okay, tell me more. Anyway, Lebang says, do you still work from home like 9 to 5 or are you freelancing? Freelancing. I would say freelancing. I'm not, yes, working from home, obviously, but no 9 to 5, thank the Pope. And do you know, there was a time where I was like, I could never, I'm not an entrepreneur. I don't have the hustle culture thing. And to be honest, I don't. I'm not the entrepreneur babe. I'm not the, hustle for this, hustle for that. I'm not. I really am not. I like solid structure. I need to know that at the end of the month, I have my salary coming in and I can budget wisely and all of that fun stuff. I still am that person. But at the same time, I think my corporate work got to a point where it was just unbearable. Like I couldn't take it anymore. And I kind of had to choose, like, it's either because, and I'm not even joking, you guys, there was a point where I was like, it's either my marriage really sucks or I'm really unhappy at work. When you get to the crossroads where you're like, it's either I'm getting a divorce or I'm working. And I decided not to be working because I'd rather be here with my family and let go of everything else that was stressing me out and just be here with my family. That's just the choice I had to make. And I would make that choice over and over and over and over again because it worked out for me. Everything else that came with that job, as much as it was paying me well, it just was not worth it, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm still not the hustling babe. I'm not the one. I honestly, the less people I talk to, the better. And it sounds weird. And that's why I probably love YouTube so much, because I can make great connections online than I am able to in person. I'm very awkward. If you met me in person, you're going to walk away thinking, what the hell was that? But online, I can sort of like organize my thoughts properly, while in person, I feel like you have to think on the fly, and I'm not a think on the fly kind of person. I need to process my information and I need to sort of like take a minute and sit with stuff for a little bit before I output whatever it is that needs to be output. So yeah, I would go back to corporate. Actually, would I? Probably not. But I would go back to a 9 to 5 job in a heartbeat, considering or provided it is what I want to do. Because I do feel like what I was doing was paying well, but it just wasn't, I don't want to say my purpose, because that sounds very strong and intense, but I feel like it wasn't giving me joy. If that's what purpose is, then yeah, it wasn't my purpose. It wasn't giving me joy. I wasn't feeling very fulfilled. I found myself arguing more while I was at work than I was when I wasn't working. And I don't know if that makes sense. Man, I'm spitting like 1,000 words per second here. Miss Koteni says it's definitely more because my grocery list is on a spreadsheet with prices. Yeah, it is more. I swear. And they are tricking us and they're doing it little by little by little. Like you buy peanut butter. I still remember the day I realized, you guys, I made a vlog about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I remember when peanut butter used to be 48 Rand or something like that. And really, Nola was like, yeah. It was so funny because how do they even remember that they don't do the groceries? But anyway, and now it's north of $50 for that medium-sized one. But they increase it little by little that we don't feel it as it happens until one day that the difference is so huge. You're like, why has my grocery budget moved from 6K to 8K, but we're still eating the same thing? Like we're not going out, we're not eating salmon every other night, we're not eating prawns. Heck, I don't remember the last time I ate prawns. Well, wait, I'm lying. I did eat prawns the other day when I went out with my friend for her birthday, but I don't remember the last time I had prawns at home. Yeah. Anyway, engagement says, hey bestie, what's your definition of purpose? Ooh, that's a loaded one. But I would say, let me just do this. I need to see if this guy is shopping. um, I'm just quickly messaging my friend. Purpose. Honestly, I am going to answer this question from my perspective, right? I find sometimes as humans, because we have responsibilities and we have bills to pay and we have stuff to do and places to see and kids to raise and fees to pay and all of these things that get thrown at our faces as we are growing, that we end up tying our purpose to the money. Like if it brings money, then it's great. Personally, I feel like purpose is something that fools you up. It doesn't matter how much it's paying you. It doesn't matter whether it's bringing in money or not, or it's like Willie's bag's full of money or not. It's the one thing when it's a Friday, you're like, man, I can't wait for Monday so that I can go back and do that, whatever that looks like for you. I remember there was not so long ago, I was talking to Relay's grade one teacher, home guys in grade two now. Like, I don't even understand how. But I was talking to his grade one teacher, and I was just telling her, I have so much respect for teachers because as much as I love my kids, I would literally give my life for them in a heartbeat, no questions asked. But every Monday morning, I'm so excited to just bring them to school because Lord knows I am tired. Okay. And I was saying to her, and I have so much respect because it's not just the kids that you have to deal with, it's also the parents, because as parents, we all want the best for our kids. And that means you can every once in a while email the teacher, good day, ma'am. Can you make sure my kid is doing this and that and the other thing? So they're managing the kids and then they're managing the parents. And then there's extramurals and this, and they must make sure that this kid needs to be there at this time for whatever. And I was just like, I have so much respect. And she was like, and the funny thing is I love it. I love it. I love it. I cannot imagine myself doing any other thing. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, you really have found your purpose. You found what keeps you going, what drives you, even if it's not your kids, but it's something that drives you, And for me, I'll be honest, I feel like I'm still searching. I still don't know. I know what has fooled me in the past. And I don't know if that's my purpose because somehow every once in a while I get dragged back into it. I find myself back in that circle so often that, when you're running away from something, but then you sort of like running towards it every time. So yeah, long story short, I think purpose is really what keeps you going. It gives you and your life a whole new meaning. It's something worth living for outside of your kids, your husband, your family, your parents. You wake up in the morning and you are excited to do whatever it is for whatever reason that is, whether it's being an IT specialist. Some people really get a kick out of being IT specialists. Some people get a kick out of being doctors and nurses and teachers and whatever. And some people are just called to be moms. You are just really happy being a mom and you cannot imagine yourself doing anything outside of being a mom. Like the idea of actually waking up in the morning and logging into that Teams meeting is like, yeah, my soul would be crushed, you know? So whatever drives you, for me, that's purpose. And it doesn't matter what people around you say, because also as humans, we do have this thing where we judge people based off what we think. Like we want people to do things exactly the way we expect them to do whatever thing that is. If I'm expecting you as Olerato with 3 kids and a husband and a penthouse apartment that you obviously are still paying for, I expect you to be working a 9 to 5, bringing in this much money, you travel like 4 times a year and doing this and doing that. And because you're not doing that, I feel like you're not living out your purpose and you are not even happy being a mom. And how dare you even complain that your kid kept you up all night, you know? And we forget, and we let all of that noise sort of like derail us from our purpose, and we end up like, going a little ways past the wreath from what we are actually meant to do, just because you were made to feel like it's not good enough, it's not what we expect from you, and so it's not the one. No, on to the next one. Go look for something that's going to bring in more Woolies bags full of money or whatever. It's just a little sad sometimes, but I guess that comes with a little bit of growing up, I guess, and a little bit of knowing yourself and standing firm on your truth, regardless of what your mom says, regardless of what other people are saying. You're just like, this is my happy place. This is what I'm called to do, and this is what I'm going to do, kind of thing. And man, that was a long-winded answer. My friend doesn't believe me when I talk. I'm on a live stream. Let's see. Because it says, love this blonde on you. Thank you. And you know what's funny? This is actually the blonde from the bleaching. So I bleached my hair before I put on the blue. You guys remember I had blue, right? Before I put on the blue, I did the bleaching first, because I said after the blue, I will probably do another color. And because when you do, the box color, sometimes the color doesn't really sit the way it's supposed to, because the start, like you started off with, say, black hair. So instead of getting a ruby red, you get a off red, weird looking kind of color mix of everything else. So I was like, let's bleach it so that I can get like consistent color going forward. And so I washed off the blue too soon in the shower before the color was fully set, which I was like, no regrets. It was never meant to be permanent anyway. So now I'm sitting with the bleach, which obviously is giving the blonde look. I don't mind it, but I am excited to do the next color. Nolinos is excited too. Check us, guys, shopping. Levahan says, how do you balance your finances when taking such a big decision? I mean, like you say, it's nice to have consistent pay. It is. And then it varies. Is it all about saving well enough? Yes, it is about saving well enough, but it's also about, living a little bit below your means and budgeting. I am a planning girly. It drives Dizzy crazy to this day, I'm not going to lie. But I like to plan things ahead of time. Like right now, I can tell you that, this is Fab, right? March, April, May, up until my birthday, what that looks like for me. Because if you're planning well, I feel like you're able to, especially if you don't have a 9 to 5, if you're planning well, you're able to sort of forecast how far your runway is going to take you. My friend calls it a runway, and I love that word because it just makes so much sense. You plan how far your runway is going to take you, and obviously this is based on your budget. The sun just went into the clouds and it looks all dark. Obviously this is based on your budget. So if you are, for example, handling groceries and bills in the house, I don't know how you guys do your finances in your households, but in our home we have like a budget, and we sort of like split it so that we both have responsibilities, because we don't have a joint account. Apparently you can't have a joint account in South Africa. I'm not complaining. So I will obviously have my responsibilities and plot that into my spreadsheet. And then I know that, okay, every single month without fail, I need to have this much money. And if I do work a little bit more, then it's fine. I take that to my investment account, that 32-day, not 32-day notice, 24-hour notice. I have that because it bears interest, right? So I put it in there so that I don't necessarily have access to it. And even if I do feel like I have access to it, I still have 24 hours to like simmer in it so that by the time I get them, and I can always send it back, or, if something came up. And then what I do is, sorry, I'm looking at the checkout order. And what I do is, even if I have plotted everything right on my budget spreadsheet, and I know what my 6 months looks like, I will still take extra work. Like I was telling my friend, like I'm past the point where I'm like, no, that's beneath me. That's whatever. I'm not going to do that. No, I don't do that anymore. I'm just like, look, work is work is work. And I've said this multiple times. I even remember saying it when I did a video with Daisy. I'm the kind of girl who likes to, like, if I want a dress from Woolies, I want to get up and go get that dress. I don't want to have to be like, oh, I have to move mountains first, and I have to do this and I have to do that. I still want to be able to afford things like that. But with that being said, though, since I don't have a 9 to 5, I have become a conscious spending girly, if that makes sense. Like, yes, I want dresses, and yes, I want this and I want that. But I've also become the person who's like, okay, I don't think I can get that now. It doesn't make financial sense right now, because if I get that, then the kids' extramurals and this and that, it's not just going to work out. So I've learned to sort of like limit myself. And with all of that said, it also has made me realize that I used to spend a lot of money on useless things I did not need, things I wanted to need, things that were completely unnecessary, and some of the things I don't even know what they are, but I spent so much money on them. So I've become really conscious of where our money is going and how our money is getting to where it's going. So how do you plan to make such a big decision? You need to be aware of where your money is going. And obviously that comes in a form of a budget spreadsheet or some sort of budget. Just know what you're paying for. Like, do you have any personal loans? Do you have any credit cards? Do you have a home loan? Do you have a car? Do you have this? Do you have that? Just plot that out onto a piece of paper, and then know how much you are living off of every single month without fail. And I would say give it a few months. Don't just do it at once off and say every month I live on 50K, because it might be 50K this month, and the next month it's 55K, and then the month after that it's like 45K. So you need to sort of like give it a few months. What do they call it? There's a word for it. There's a word for it. Oh my God, I left corporate so long ago, I forgot. But there's a word for it where you sort of like have this little trend, for lack of a better word, you sort of like let it trend so that you can see, you can get an overview, and you can almost average it to say, at the very least, if I have 50K, I will be fine, kind of thing. So yeah. And then you dive in, and then you tell yourself, like, whatever it takes, I'm just going to work my butt off to make sure that I keep going. And the thing with life is that nothing is predictable. You just never know. You can quit today and then shit hits the fan tomorrow, or you quit today and you hit a jackpot tomorrow. You just never know. Or you never quit, but then you live in regret. Or you quit and then you live in regret. You just never know. You have to be willing to take the risk. Just to jump in. And the nice thing with our age group, they say life begins at 40, right? Guys, we're not 40 yet. So let's go. Let's do it. So Hayong says, hi bestie, how do you learn to protect your children online while sharing them? Also, how do you handle meeting besties in public and still feeling safe with the children? How do I learn to protect the children online while sharing them? Well, the one thing for me, or the biggest thing for me, has always been to make sure that I don't share the kids in, I don't want to say compromising, because it sounds very like investigation discovery like. But before I share anything that has to do with the kids, I always look at the footage and I think to myself, if this was me, would I be happy with this? And when the kids are older, would they be embarrassed about this? And if the answer is no, then I'll share it. If the answer is, I'm not entirely sure, then I won't share it. But right now, because they're older, I ask them. Um, and I'm sure you guys have noticed that there's not a lot of kids in my content, but when they are there, they usually are there willingly. I know Come for one because she's in this preteen, teenage, matured preteen phase. Um, she wants to be in the vlog, but also she doesn't want to be in the vlog. And I think she's in that stage where, she's getting self-conscious, not self-conscious, self-aware. I mean, she loves watching our old vlogs, and every time she sees like baby videos of her, she's just like, why do I sound like that? Which is so funny. I'm like, well, as a baby, your voice is a little bit squeaky because, your vocal cords and stuff like that. And you grow up and then it changes. And even now, you think you sound a certain way. And then, like 10 years from now, you're going to look back and say, what on God's green earth was going on? But it's things like that. She looks at the videos and she's not embarrassed by the video. In fact, she's just like, oh my God, it's mind blowing that I was that person once. And every time that happens, I always think to myself, this is exactly why I always ask myself, like, is this okay to share online or is it not? The one thing that is very important for me personally is to never chase trends or like what if viral ability, is that a word? I don't know, like the potential for a piece of content to go viral, because things like those are usually things that are very compromising, and it's things that are sometimes very inappropriate, and I never sit with the kids and be like, I'm ready now, show me what you got, kind of thing, or like, oh, that was so much fun, it would get us so much views or whatever. I never ever do that. If it didn't happen organically, that's it. It's gone. It's gone. And I'm not gonna, just do things just for the views or just for the trend or just for the whatever. Unless Gum is like, can we do this TikTok dance, which I suck at dancing now. But I will not do that. And that's how I've always it's like a conscious thing. You have to want to not put them at a disadvantage online. I don't know if that makes sense. How do you handle meeting besties in public? Honestly, I don't mind. We don't meet a lot of besties, but we have met a few, and it's usually never awkward. My kids have gotten to a point where, because some of the kids at school, like their parents will watch our videos, and so, which is strange, the kids, like my kids, actually love when the other kids talk to them about whatever they saw us doing on the vlog, because it has become like a conversation starter for them. It's so weird. I don't get it. But anyway, so when we do meet besties online, and somebody, obviously you guys will use their names like, hi Rile, or hi Nolo, or hi whatever. They will just say hi. Obviously, we're not like dishing out hugs and stuff, because in a way, you know us, but we don't know you. So it's just a quick hi, how's it going? Hi, nice to meet you. And then off we go. It is what it is. We've never had a case where somebody's literally just like budging in or trying to do anything extraordinary, which has been a blessing, I guess. And still feeling safe when with the children. I do think that, as messed up as our country is, though, we don't have a celebrity culture in South Africa. And I love that about South Africa. Like, nobody is putting anybody on a pedestal. So even if, like, so many besties see us, but then they don't come to us, they send me DMs, which I think it's weird, because it has that you're being watched kind of feeling to it. But we don't have this whole, oh my God, celebrity culture. So because of that, I've never felt unsafe. And I'm trying to say that very carefully. Like, I've never felt unsafe going with the kids in public, in the sense that, like, people will come flocking to us and like being on some, we watch your videos, this, that, the other thing. Like, that never crosses my mind, because also I don't see myself as somebody who people will want to be like, oh my God, oh my God. I really don't. I don't. Just sending the Checker 60 guy the gate code. What? Oh. share. Okay. Um, Wendy's asking too many questions. Are we doing coffee dates again this year? Should we? Mm. You tell me. You tell me. Faith had also left a question. Faithful-BZ14, do you still work 9 to 5 for full-time content creator? I'm not working 9 to 5. I am a content creator, but I wouldn't call it full-time. I'm just content creating as and when the opportunity comes. And obviously content creating to as just, regular Instagram, TikTok, like a social thing. This guy's on the way. It's terrific. I don't mean to laugh, but Ed Shadila says, hello bestie, and hello to all the besties tuned in. Hey bestie, I just spent 100 Rand on lunch. I was like, I will just make tea because if I add a juice, then it's more. Imagine how much that is for a month. It's wild. Honestly, it's wild. Like I don't understand. Sometimes I'm like, how some people are like, I'm gonna wait until I'm ready to have kids financially and yada yada. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know when that's gonna come because if you're not used to spending money on school fees now, I don't know how you're gonna get used to spending money on school fees 5 years from now. It's wild. Because of what? Why are we being personal now? Why? She writes, when I met you, I was so surprised at how short you are. Oh my God, that's funny. That is so funny. That's funny. Mm-hmm. You were not the first person. So many people have met me. Well, not so many people. My God, I'm so dramatic. A few people have met me, right? And we'll have a conversation, cool. And then I'll post whatever on Instagram and then they'll send me a DM on some, I just have to say I was so surprised by how short you are in person. I am short, guys. That's why every time you see me in the kitchen reaching for stuff, I'm standing on a chair. Like our top shelves in the kitchen, so they're like, so it's a cupboard and then it's got a bottom little thingy and the top one. At the top, I can't reach. I'm not even trying. I have to get a chair to reach that. It's short girl problems. It's so funny. You know what? There was another question here that I wanted to answer. It's from Lee Love, and she says, I've been watching all your vlogs from 2016 just to catch up, and I admire how authentic and true to yourself you have been, which can be difficult when you come from an African conservative family. Agree. Did you receive pushback with how you chose to live your life and choices, and how did you navigate that? And she's 30 years, firstborn daughter, not 30 years, but firstborn daughter, struggling with either living up to family's expectations or being authentically myself and happy, but maybe disappointing my family in the process. Yeah, see that this is the one of the most underrated things or conversations or feelings that we hardly ever talk about. Trying to live up to your family's expectations and what sort of what they see or what they envisioned for your future. It's so hard when it has nothing to do with what you want as a person. So often my mom has said to me, you are so different. And I'm like, I don't know. But how did I do that? Honestly, I wouldn't say there's anything I can pinpoint to say I did this for me to live my life the way I do or to get to where I am. I don't know if that makes sense. There was no specific life-changing moment. It was just a series of small choices, a series of things that I did that sort of just sent the message. I never tried to fit in. That was never my thing. I'm a village girl through and through. Like I'm the kind of person who, when I go back home, I'm in it. Are we doing the fire conke? Are we cooking this? I am in it. I'm all over it. And I love every minute of it. But I also am the city girl who comes to Pretoria and I'm like, you know what? I'd rather just have the dishwasher run the dishes for me because I am not, no, it's a no kind of thing. And both can coexist and still be okay. Um, but when it comes to family, family will forever have expectations um, from you and for you, and they will always have this sort of like blueprint of how they expect you to live your life or what they want for you. And in their minds or the way they see it, it's honestly the best thing that could happen for you if you could just listen, just listen to what they're saying, so that your life can be so much better and you can like move forward and progress and whatever. And that is okay. What you do need to learn though is you need to learn to almost mute the noise, because they don't mean it to like drag you down or to make you feel like you are less than, or that you're not good enough, or that what you're doing is not good enough. It's just them coming to terms with the idea or the reality that what they had envisioned for you is not what you want for yourself. And unfortunately for us, I don't know about you, but she mentioned African, conservative family. Our African families, my parents, I didn't come from a family where we all sat down and we spoke about our feelings and what we want to be when we grew up and what that's going to look like. And, like that emotional, I don't want to say emotional support, but like that, what do I want out of life? There's a word for it. Um, I don't want to say runway. I don't want to say path, but there is a word for it. Oh, there's a word for it. I can't think of it now. But essentially talking about, where you see yourself in like 4 years or 5 years or whatever. We never spoke about that. So obviously they had their own idea of what I'll turn out like. And I obviously had my own ideas of what I will turn out like. And both did not. No. um, but at the same time, I wasn't like, I'm doing it my way. It doesn't matter what you guys say. I'm just going to do it the way I see fit. And that's it. You still take their counsel. You still listen to what they have to say. And then you go back to your house, your apartment, school, university, and you think through it. And you sort of like, okay, pros and cons. If I do this, what does that look like for me? If I do that, what does that look like for me? You sort of have to, it's baby steps. And in a long run, it'll make a huge difference. But if you try to do it like all at once, then it'll be like really problematic, because also our African families, they're not very good at letting go. They're not. They want you to be the baby, and they want you to come and black tax and this and that. That's just how it is. It's the generation they grew up in, so we can't really fault them for it. It's our responsibility to a certain degree to teach them, or to sort of show them that actually there is another way. This cannot be the only way. We can't live like this. It's not sustainable. You can't want me to build my life and my family and my future while also carrying everybody else. We're not going anywhere. I'm not winning, you're not winning, we're both miserable. So it's either, we find a working solution for all of us, or somebody's gonna, how now these kids are going no contact, somebody's gonna end up going no contact. And I don't think that's an ideal situation to get to. So did you receive pushback? Oh yeah. Yes, I did. My mom has also said to me over and over again that I'm very stubborn. My dad doesn't really talk much. My dad is the kind of guy who he'll support you all the way, but he doesn't talk much. And even if he doesn't approve, he won't say it. He will just act it. So, for example, if I said I want to buy a BMW and he thinks a Porsche is good for me, he'd rather send me ads about Porsches than to say don't buy a BMW. If that makes sense. It's a random example. I did not. There was a time I wanted a Porsche. Not now. I'm not that girl. And like I said, how did you navigate that? It's just small steps, small baby steps and consistent steps. Don't say one thing today and then do the exact opposite tomorrow. Just stay consistent and eventually they catch up, and then it's different. You look back and you're like, oh, you guys are not like arguing anymore. When you suddenly say, I'm gonna pack up the kids and we're going to Namibia for like a month, and everybody's like, oh wow, have fun. It's no longer, oh my god, you guys are gonna die, or like, what if there's no Namibia or whatever. It's a have fun kind of thing, and it changes your whole perspective and their perspective as well. So you receive more support and less pushback. You just have to be consistent all the time. Don't send mixed signals. That's just you're gonna be in this vicious cycle forever. And Blessed Girl says, my unsocial self. I worked with you from 2017, but only said hi in 2023 when I was about to leave the company. I remember putting you aside and we whispered and giggled about the awkwardness. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It really is awkward. I don't know what it is about it, but there's just something so awkward about it. And I think it's that celebrity culture. But for me personally, I know that I feel awkward because I've never been a social person, for one. And like I said, I don't know how to think on my feet. There are people like DZ, for example. That man can carry a conversation about anything right now. He doesn't even have to know you. If you start talking, he can talk about stuff for days. I'm not that person. And so when I meet you guys in person, over and above the fact that I feel like you know me, but I don't know you, then my brain is just like pulling blanks. It's, yeah. Edna Lady says, I'm mom of 3, school-going age. Please do weekly lunchbox ideas for us. I'm already doing it, boo, on Instagram. You don't follow me on Instagram? Maybe I should also share it on here. Let me know if I should share it on here. Every week, every Sunday, I shared. This past Sunday, I did not do it because what was I doing on Sunday? I have a legit reason why I didn't do it. I don't remember. But I know I didn't do it on Sunday. But I do it every week. I post it up on Instagram and it goes on my Facebook page as well. And it's the weekly lunchbox ideas or plan, what I'm planning to pack for the kids. And then every day I share a picture of what's in the kids' lunchboxes, because sometimes I'll have a plan of what I want to share. And then the kids throw can we have spaghetti and meatballs in my face? And then I have to like, okay, instead of a cheese sandwich, we'll do spaghetti and meatballs or stuff like that. So I sort of like mix and match all the time. So, but if you're not on Instagram, let me know. I'm happy to share it on here as well. In fact, I want to start this thing where I share on the community tab here on YouTube more often, because sometimes I feel like I'm leaving you guys behind. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I'm sharing, like so much happens between the Wednesday, in an ideal world, that Wednesday and the Friday that we agreed the vlogs will go up. And by the time I come with the vlog on Wednesday, like so much has happened that I feel like it's a little awkward to now go back and reshare this when we're already on a Wednesday. So I'm going to try to be more consistent and more present in the community tab this year, hopefully. Here I go throwing stuff on my plate when the plate is already overflowing, but we try, we keep it moving and we soldier on. Anyway, I don't think there's any more questions. Good morning. I missed you guys too. Oh my God, you guys have no idea. When I was buried under those wedding edits, it was rough. It was really rough. But and I felt so much guilt not uploading the vlog, but at the same time I knew why I was not able to upload the vlog. I want to show you guys a sneak peek of the wedding video I was editing. If I can find it. Where is it? I was literally looking at it like this morning. My Checker 60 guy is also here. Let's see. Oh man, I love village weddings. There's just something about it. And I love shooting weddings because they, and this sounds weird because it's somebody else's wedding, but every time I shoot a wedding, I feel this new sense of renewal for my own marriage. Because obviously, you know, there's a church service and stuff, and I feel so like, oh, renewal. I love it. Love it. Blessed Girl says, are you going to share the wedding content on YouTube? No, I'm not, because it's not my wedding. And I don't usually ask my clients for consent to share their weddings on my page, because I feel like then it's just really blurring or blurring the lines. So I'm not going to share that. But what I want to do though is I want to create an Instagram page where I can share all the work that I do, so that I can use that as my portfolio or point of reference. I hope that makes sense. So maybe when I have that going, then I'll share the link to that Instagram page rather than to share their content on my page. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, you guys, I was going to show you a sneak peek of this, but now I'm like, do I want to? I don't think I can do that in a way that's not gonna, because I have their names at the very start of the video. So let me rather not do that. But the Checker 60 guy is here, so I'm gonna have to love and leave you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Lebohang, one last question. Lebo has said, your kids picky eaters. I struggle to make 7 colors on Sunday because I feel like most of it goes to waste. Girl, seriously, like move into my house and let's just ship them all together into your house, because I have the exact same struggle. And the fact that nobody actually cares for Sunday food, like they don't understand the love that goes into cooking a 7-color meal on a Sunday. Sorry, guys. Hello? Good, how are you? Okay, please leave it by the door. I'll come now. Thank you so much. They don't understand the work and the love that goes into preparing that meal. And by the time I dish out, I'm not even joking, Relay eats rice and butternut and the chicken, but by force, because I'm like, you have to get some protein in the chicken. He'll skip on the rice, but I'm like, you're gonna eat the rice. And then Bonolo will eat the rice and the beetroot and the chicken. That's it. And by then I have like greens and this and that, and they're like, no ma'am, no. It's exhausting, but what am I gonna do? They are picky in that sense. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I had so much fun. I need to now go and get this Checker delivery. It's by the door. And then, it's by my door. I'm going to go get it and we'll catch up again next week. There'll be vlogs now going forward. I swear I'm over the wedding edits. I have, let me not jinx it, okay? Let me not jinx it. Also, I burnt myself. That's why I keep doing this, because it really hurts. Like I want to dig into it. I burnt myself while cooking. I'm a clumsy cook. I burn myself almost every single time I bake or cook or do anything that has to do with the stove. But I still continue to do it anyway, which is wild. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and enjoy your day. I will catch you guys next week on the vlog and on the community tab. Let's catch up on there. So Yes. Bye, guys. Let's see. How do you end this thing? Oh, there we go. It has literally a button that says end live stream. Why am I this person? I don't know.